just chat into the comment section. Just welcome Beth and thank Beth for taking time out of her life to just share with you a little bit about her experience with the 5-Star Referral Center. We have a lot of by referral only members that are going to be watching this either now or on the replay, and then a lot of people who are not in by referral only membership that are looking at installing a 5-Star Referral Center in their business. So I just want to talk to by referral only members first. When you, I'm going to stop the sharing for a minute, and I'm going to take you over to the by referral only web page, which is on Firefox, and this is. When you log into by referral only, you'll come to the accountability programs, and you'll see it says Fast Pass Coaching and Accountability. You click on that little tab right there, and it will show you registration for 6 Significant Habits, registration for Referral Ignite, and registration for the 5-Star Referral Center. So a lot of you have been asking us like, oh, is this, is this for the members or is it for non-members? It's for both, and we've really put together an extraordinary 8-week process that starts on October 3rd at 9:30 in the morning. So members, you just click on that link right there. I'll explain to you the entire program, take you all through it, and then you just simply click where it says join the next class on October 3rd. And when I do that, it just takes you to the reg page. You put in your information, and then it says continue to the video release form, and then you're all set, and it's all set up for you. So you go right into the program there, which is a different path than our non-members go through. So a lot of our non-members are watching this introduction to the 5-Star Referral Center to the regular real estate community or the real estate community at large. And they're going, where do we enroll? Where do we enroll? So you go directly to the by referral only site again, and you just click on the button that says Fast Pass Coaching and Accountability, and just follow that path in. And I'd love to see as many by referral only members in there as possible, so we can get this installed in your business and join the other 500 or 600 members around the country that have already put their 5-Star Referral Center in place. So I just wanted to bring that up. And members, as you're watching right now, any questions coming up for you or anything that you want to address for us here? I see NATO's there, and hey, Mike Hardwick. You remember Mike Hardwick? Does that ring a bell for you? Beth Rebenstorf, Mike Hardwick.
Hardwick.
Mike owns a company called Churchill Mortgage. He's in Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay.
Big Dave Ramsey advocate and affiliate. And Mike and I go way back, almost 20, 25 years. And he's got several of his team members that are members of filtering in and out of the program. So Mike, Beth is a great contact for you in Arizona, just world-class connection for you. And then there's Audrey Shea. Audrey Shea is with us. Hi, Audrey. Audrey was just out at the house at the Tribe.
Oh, Tribe Builders. Yeah. Wonderful.
Did some great work here. Beth is part of course, part of our Bromance group, but she's also a member of my inner circle. So there's 15 people that are in a small group that we meet quarterly, and we meet every other week on the phone, and we're really good friends. I mean, we just have been buddies for a long time, and just deep respect for the journeys that we've been on, and we've both been on all types of things that we've gone through. So it's just such an honor to have not only a group of people, but a friend like Beth that's in my life, and that's what relationship is about. It's the connection that you have with people over a long period of time. I feel so grateful, Beth. That
I do too, Joe.
Yeah, on so many levels. It's and you guys all know what that means. So, and Mike, you know what that means. And Audrey, you know what that means. And Jennifer is listening in with us today. So thank you all for being here. Beth, what I think we'll do is let's just go over and look at your 5-star and just talk a little bit about it. But before I actually show it, would you just kind of give your like, what were your expectations when we started this? You were in that Bromance meeting where I talked about it the first time, maybe 3 years ago. And I get, hey, you guys, I got this. If I put $1 million into it, you think you'll look at it, And then we started to unfold it, unfold it, and then started to introduce it to you. And I know you had certain expectations.
Yeah.
And then you have now you have a direct experience of it. So could you just speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, I would say that they're different. What the expectations were and what the end result is different and better. I understood early on when you were talking about, going out to a different sphere and extending it. One, I'll be honest, I thought it would be easier in some ways, because it was that piece of paper, a name, a number, and the digital kind of one-dimensional, get it done, move on. And we were doing a lot of evergreen stuff.
Right.
And so one and done, and then you don't touch it. And what I've come to realize is it is a living, like you said, it's a relationship. It's a living, breathing, it needs nurturing, it needs care, it needs a lot of attention. But the results from it for our clients that get a really nice introduction to people, like who is that person? And then where we can take it, it can really go anywhere. I mean, the ability to weave into all kinds of things and make it the personality of every agent or team. It just has total flexibility there. And it's something that it doesn't have to be like, quote unquote, done like perfectly. It's progress. It's progress. A little, kind of like video, a little here, a little there, and then weaving it in. And so the relationships, we've been working a lot on the relationships, and we had a lot more in the system originally. And those that didn't really want to play or connect, eventually I just had them take them out. Because if they, weren't going to, so anybody that I couldn't get a video with isn't for everybody, but if I don't have a video, I don't want them in there. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't have to be me or a team member with them. It could be a client doing it, or it could be themselves. It doesn't really matter. So that was just a choice that I made, or at least a photo, at the very least a photo and a story, something that we really do know who they are. And guess who's responsible for that? We are. Yeah. It's not their responsibility, it's ours. Right. So my expectation was it would be this really cool, slick, beautiful, like all the things that you do, and that makes us look better. So that was the first, selfish thing. Oh, it's going to make us look really good. And then it was deeper than that in how can we really help them with their business, and how can we help them so that people really do want to use them. And then how can we share some of the things that we've been learning, these years together to help them with their business. And that's what we've been spending time on. Yeah. Instead of big, we've gone to deeper.
Yeah, and it's so important that you hear Beth's messages as our industry is being disrupted, like gnats, it's being disrupted, like all over the place. Yeah. In the past, it didn't require a lot of depth. I mean, it did, but not as much. Today, that's the separator. The depth of the relationship is what is the key to your survival. And that's what my foresight was, is that we need to really build a high level of value for our client that they can't get anywhere else. Right. And that's what, your 5 stars turned out to be. I mean, it's really a very valuable asset in your business.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So I'm going to pull it up right now. And for those of you who are watching, what you're looking at is, I'm going to share this. You're going to be looking at Beth's 5-star referral center. Let me just pull this up. This is my technology at work here. So I think I got your site up. Do you see that?
Yep, that's it.
There
yep, I sure do.
So this is the welcome page when a person comes to rebehomes.5starreferralcenter.com. And you also have it featured on your main website too. So
we do. And we have 2 other URLs, just so you know. Phoenix 5-star, THX 5-star, okay. And then Phoenix 5-star spelled out. So if anybody finds it, it's coming to the Bro 5-star.
Yeah, so it all gets redirected back.
It all gets redirected.
Yeah, so And we are the host of the site. So we're doing all the technology behind the scenes.
Yep.
We're doing all the redirecting. So you don't have any cost in doing that, or you don't have any anything like a third party to manage that for you. We're doing it all in-house for you there. So what are we looking at here, Beth?
So this is just the welcome that they're going to click on a video. So how they find us is we'll send a link to our new clients. It's in some of our emails. It's on my signature on our emails. And as you taught us, you know, just do a nice little welcome video. So you tell them what it is, and that's what shows up.
Yeah. So if I go in here and I want to opt in, the first thing I do is I put my name in. And so I'll type that in here, first and last name, and I put my email address in there. And then I'm going to watch the video. Just put Joe Journal. So imagine a client is coming to your site and they want to get in. The first thing they do is they register to come in, and that's a one-time occurrence. Now they're
just once.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they've been cookied, and now when they return back, they don't have to do that. So I'm going to click on the video, and we'll just see what Beth has to say.
Once inside, you'll have permanent access to our private list of vetted and referable businesses. And hey, if you don't find what you're looking for, please reach out and let us know. Chances are good someone within our tribe will be able to help you out. So go ahead and enter and see you inside.
Nice. So,
hi, Beth Rebenstorf.
So Beth, just talk a little bit about what that message is all about for you.
So what I wanted to drive home is that we're not paying anybody, that you can't get in, that it's, you know, people that have actually been used. And if they know somebody that they think deserves to be in the 5-Star Referral Center, we'd like to know that too. And it will be growing, which it is.
Yeah. You know, like, so when I think of my friend Mike Hardwick, Mike, I think of one for your whole team. You know, everyone on the team entering in the product, services, and experiences throughout the Nashville area that are the 5-star clients. It's like your what you have over at Financial Peace with Dave Ramsey. He has his preferred vendors. These are the Nashville preferred vendors. That's how I see it. I see that as these are your preferred vendors. But the difference here is nobody is paid. You know, you cannot buy your way into this, which is the separator. And I love it. If you don't want to do a video, you can't get in, you know, because my clients need to meet you.
They do. They really do.
Yeah. And that's what separates you from Angie's List or
Right.
from just somebody Googling it up there. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and submit. Now I submit, and what happens? That is,
And that brings you in. That brings you in.
You also get an email now.
Yeah, I get an email. I know who came into it. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's aware of who comes into it. And I'm sure you're having people come in daily that you're not even aware of, that, you know, somehow they found their way over there. It was
Right.
in some way.
Right.
And you add them to the list, and then you can put them into your Essential 7 program, or you can put them into
Right.
any other drip program, or you can follow up with a phone call. You know, you've got now somebody moving towards you.
Right. Yeah. Right. And if you see, you know, like I had one that was doing some painting, and I knew that they were thinking about selling. So it reminded me to give them a call, see where things are.
Yeah, good.
If they're hiring a painter, that, they're getting closer.
Yeah. I wonder what is that tipping point service, you know, that when they call that person, that means 2 weeks out.
Yeah. It depends on how much prep work they have to do.
Yeah, good. And now we're at your center, and we have our search function right on the front. So find exceptional services, you know, find a pro. So you put in, let's see, flip back to your face and go back to her site. I'm getting some instruction here from my.
Yeah, I'm only seeing, I didn't see the video.
Oh, you didn't?
I heard it playing, but I didn't see it playing. I should have told you that. I thought maybe I was seeing something different.
Oh, okay. So are you looking at me right now?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Now, are you looking at the site now?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So what we missed was the video, but now you're looking at the site.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I didn't catch that. All right. So anyway, there was a video that's on the front end of it. If you go to Rebe Homes.5starreferralcenter.com, and you could actually watch her video, and you could opt in and take a look around on your own there. And that's something
Yeah.
that you're welcome to do. So now we're in, and now we've got home services, personal care, professional care, entertainment, and restaurants. And so I'm going to just click on the home service button here. And is there any one particular one that you'd like to show us a little feature on?
You know, go to appliance repair. That might be a good one.
Appliance repair. All right.
We should have Jason Cutler in there. He just left my house again. There he is, Cutler Appliance Repair.
Okay, and I'm going to click on view listing. And what I like about the way that we set this up is we have, my volume is too low. I think it's because I'm sharing the volume. I'm going to unclick the volume here. Thank you. My team is so good. There we go.
They are so good. They're amazing.
Yeah, they're just all in there. There we go. And there we go. I hope that's a little bit better. Pull that up a little bit and maybe my mic. There we go. Okay, so we have, I'm going to view the listing and I'll pull that up. And sure enough, a nice description. No video here with the Cutlers.
What the heck? Where's the video?
Where's our video?
You know what? He just did 6 new videos. Where is our video?
Maybe he just hasn't put this one up yet.
Well, I think they might have changed it because we do have one with him. You can go to Handyman.
Handyman. So I'm going to use the convenient sidebar over here.
There you go.
Handyman over here. And then we have All-Star Home Repair.
Yeah, try Honest Handyman.
You know, when I look at this, Beth, I see that you've got a lot of choices for people. And you know, a lot of people say, do I put more than one in there? What's your thought on that?
So part of it is, you know, since I have a team, there are a lot of relationships.
Yeah.
And so I want to honor that. Sometimes, I mean, we've actually taken people out. Sometimes, especially like pool and landscaping, they start out really good. They get really busy and then their service starts to slack off. I have taken some out when you know, just like if somebody called me on the phone and I'm not going to give that name to them because I'm a little worried, then I would take them out of 5-Star Center. That's what we're doing.
That's a great,
and then,
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just going to say, you know, lead, guide, and protect, you know, and left up to their own devices, they could be wandering around, stumbling into those people. And what you're doing is doing the vetting for them. And that's the value.
Yeah. And I guess the point is it happens, you know, that it isn't static. And that's what I've learned about this, that there's you know, just like our relationships with our clients and our top 150, there's a constant, you know, cleaning and improving. And, you know, sometimes I'll look at a listing and go, like you said, there's a video that's missing. Let's go fix that.
So I'm going to click on Honest Handyman. Go right here. I'm going to view that listing. Click on that and then scroll down a little bit. I love you got plenty of room to, you know, just brag on these people. And I call Honest Handyman for everything. And these are your words. You know, the nice thing about doing something like this is you could literally just dictate it into your phone or into a recorder, transcribe it, and then post it up there. That's something you could do if you want to do that, or you can put your fingers on the keyboard and get that done. And then you got all of the things that they do here. And there you go. There's your video. Yeah, I'm going to click on the video.
Okay.
Hi, Amanda Nash with the Rebe Homes Team at Realty One Group. I'm here with the owner of the Honest Handyman Service, Kyle. Hi, Kyle. Can you tell me a little bit about your business?
Absolutely, Amanda. We're a family-owned business. We pride ourselves on being honest, getting the job done right the first time, as well as just providing the customer with a terrific service that they can tell their friends and family about.
I really appreciate that. The Honest Handyman Service is my go-to handyman service, so I highly recommend them to you.
Oh, that's so good. It's so good on so many levels there. You know, in some worlds, the word handyman and honest are oxymorons. Like getting them to show. Yeah. But when you find one, it's a gold mine, isn't it?
Yeah.
And when you find one, it's really.
So I noticed, Joe, that down in the video screen that it went to some of the, like Honest Handyman is now doing a caulking of the shower in that little video there.
Right. Are you looking right up
that
here?
one right there?
Okay.
How to caulk a shower?
How to caulk a shower.
So we've got a shower behind us. There is some caulking issues just from water over time getting behind the caulking and helping it pull apart.
Okay, this one's a little long, so you might want to go to the end, but it shows the difference before and after and highlights.
One has added a couple layers over the top.
Wait, how many times have you seen this?
Our caulking gun, and we're going to go ahead and start filling the joints. Now, when you do the joints, you don't want to.
Yeah, I'm just
gently.
look at that. That is really cool, you know.
As you go.
And he's all excited about it. You know, he's doing his craft.
So this is one of the things that we started doing for our 5-star partners. We do a vendor networking every other month, and we bring them to our home, and we have a topic and something to learn, and then something they each get to share about what they do, what they're adding, and we brainstorm a little bit on how we can help each other. And we started doing these videos where they highlight their business. And of course, now they get to use this video. They don't have to do anything. They just show up. And then these videos they can put on their website. And that's part of the, how do we really get into a different level of relationship and lead with a giving hand and not say, hey, you give me a referral, I'll give you a referral, right? You know, how many people, you know, that whole BNI networking thing.
Right.
You know, it just is, it's been really kind of cool. And to learn, like our home inspector, I didn't know that they did sewer scopes, that they actually can bring a camera and you don't have to bring a plumber out. I've been using them for a while. I had no idea. So every time we do one of these networking events, and it's just 2 hours from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock on a Thursday night, will come and they each get a chance to talk about their business and talk with each other, and they're creating relationships. So I was taking much what I learned from you and how do you create a little environment and a space for people to connect and learn and see where they can take it from there. And I'm just loving that part of it.
What are you loving about it?
Number one, I love seeing how they're connecting with each other and helping each other. And so it's, you know, it's like attracts like, and now they're bringing other vendors in as well. So they're looking for people to bring to this group, as well as our agents and our clients, and the ones that actually show up. And, you know, so we have about 18, 20 people each time, and it's not always the same people. Mm-hmm. And this last one, what we did is we did a little kind of a training session on, you know, introducing with stories, as you've taught us. And we realized that one of the gifts that we could give them is teaching them how to introduce other people like us or like one of the other members in the group, and really kind of emphasizing introductions. And the topic this time was the difference between a referral and an introduction. And, you know, that's kind of a new concept for many of them, not all of them, but many of them. And then we broke off into triads, and we had a little board on what we learned. And I had each of my team introduce one of the people, one of the vendors there, using a story. And it was the, you know, what's their name? How'd you meet? What's the story about what they did? How did it help? And everybody got that part. And then what we added was the 5th issue, which is where everybody misses the boat, is the call to action, which is, you know, so you want to get your house painted, I can give you the number, but how about this? I'll do a 3-way text, so you can text, or I'll do a 3-way call. I'll merge them in right now. Or would you like me, this is the beautiful thing, would you like me to call them and have them call you? I know you're really busy, so that you don't forget. Is that okay if I do that? So choose one of those 3 to actually take action when you're doing the story introduction. And then we broke them into triads, and then they each practiced it with each other.
Oh, Beth, that's so great. That's so great. I mean, this is the added value that separates you from any other real estate agent or lender in your community there. It's really very powerful. Yeah. And how does the team respond to this?
Well, it's great for the team too, because it steps up their game, right?
Right.
Now they can help their partners and colleagues and help in their business and share what they're learning and share the practice. And it was really interesting. So at the very end, when everybody had done their triads, then we had a couple say, who wants to give it a shot? You know, no judgment. We're all among friends here. Let's give it a shot because it's practice just like we do with you. And so they go through the story, and then it was just perfect. It was just perfect. No call to action. Okay, there's their number. And it's like, exactly.
Yeah.
And so it was the perfect emphasis point and reminder of, you're not finished until you do something. Take that action and get them connected. And so how do we get you connected? How would you like us to make that happen? And I think what it also does, Joe, at least within that group, I'm pretty sure anybody on my team that calls them, they're going to pick up the phone or return it in a timely manner. So when we say, hey, is there any way you can do a favor because of this?
Right.
There's that level.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm seeing is the more value you bring to them, the more preferential treatment you get.
Right.
And that treatment is so important in getting the transaction closed.
Yes.
Yeah. Say a little bit about
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So there have been many times, because we have a few inspection companies. And there have been times where I'm like, man, we send a lot of business, and like, really, you're taking that long, and what's going on there? And, first I have to look inside and say, okay, so how often have you reached out, Beth? And what's been the latest there? And then there's, having those courageous conversations. And that, I have been conscious of that. So we had one recently where we needed an inspection. It was a 5-day inspection period. I really, really, really need your help. And is there anything you can do? And one, they were just too busy. And I respect that. But what I appreciated is they got back right away and said, if there was anything I could, I would. And gave some options. And I'd rather know that. And then the second one that I went to did some rearranging, and they did it right away. So I know that is having an impact there, because I know the effort that we've put in and the genuine care that we're trying to provide some value to help with their business. Those little videos, not just the intro video, because they're really uncomfortable about that, but when they're talking about their stuff and what they do, and they're in there, it's magic. It's magic.
That's their art. They're showing you their art.
Yeah.
This is like now watch the caulking gun, and that's fascinating. And if I'm getting my bathroom done, I want a guy that has that kind of conviction.
Right.
So
to make all that ugly grossness go away.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
So, looking back at your 5-star, I'm gonna just pull it up again.
Okay.
And as we look at that, what would you tell others? I mean, what would you say to other people who are watching for the first time, or as members or as non-members to buy referral only? Like, what would you say to them about this?
I would say this is probably one of the most important things that they could get launched that will have huge results going forward, and to have expectations realistic about the expectations. It's not a quick thing, but it's a really, really powerful thing. I think you learn a lot too. I certainly learned a lot about the vendors that I thought one way and realized that maybe it's not a good fit. It also pointed out where I had holes on, we really need to get, the electrician that we use, he's got a full-time job and he works at night now. That's not going to work. So I would say progress for sure over perfection. It will never be perfect. The whole video thing, that was just a choice that we made. That is just it made it easier, like who's going to get in and who's going to get out. And if you just do a name and a number, doing a video and meeting with them and getting that video done. If you want to see a different type of video, you can go to Painters, and that's where we had a lot of clients introduce the vendors instead of the vendor doing it, because not every vendor is really comfortable with that.
So I'm gonna take a quick look and see what you're talking about underneath painting.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna hit painting.
I can't see what you're seeing, Joe. I see a white line on the screen.
Okay, let me bring that back up here. Let's see. Now, are you okay?
Yeah, no.
With
So
painting?
yeah, go to Conklin painting.
Conklin? Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's our first listing, Conklin. And there we have Dan Conklin. We got his website here, and we got his email address. We got his phone number. We got his business address, and then we do a description. And then here's the video. Let's take a look.
Hey, it's Beth Rebenstorf with Rebe Homes Team and bringing you another wonderful 5-star referral service provider. These are our good friends, Lee and Joni Myers, who just are finishing their new house, did some remodel, and they're going to tell us how Conklin Painting helped them.
Hi, Dan Conklin was an absolute perfectionist when it came to doing exactly what we wanted him to do. We had highlight color walls that were perfectly done. And the most impressive thing was his patience with me and deciding what colors I wanted.
And helping you.
And also, he used a new product on a kind of a new idea with my cabinets. I wanted them the same color as the walls. And when he got done, he was not happy with that new product. So he redid all of my cabinets at his own cost, which I found to be absolutely astounding.
That's a 5-star.
So, yes, so we really recommend Dan Conklin.
Not only a professional at what he does, he is a nice guy.
All the better. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, Beth, what do you
Hey,
like?
it's Beth
What do you
Rebenstorf.
like about that, Beth?
Well, they felt so pleased to recommend this painter because you can tell they genuinely felt it. And I love the message that people get when they do see these, that they're real people. It's legit. It's not just, you know, a name and a number and you have no clue. They got a pretty good sense. I think anybody who's thinking about painting, they got a pretty good sense from them on what they can expect. And they can go through that in all of the listings. And, you know, sometimes there's just a vibe like, oh, that felt good. I'm going to go with that person. And I loved giving them the chance to support and refer. And I, of course, always love that they get stronger and stronger at referring and emphasizing that behavior.
And Beth, once they're on your website and they are an advocate for somebody, they are now an advocate for you forever.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah.
I love having more and more of your clients on there.
Yeah.
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 So they feel more invested in sharing the directory with more people.
Yeah. That's actually where we're going. In addition to helping the ones that are there with videos,
Right.
their content videos, we've made a decision that we want a video on every listing that's up there, and the preference would actually be with a client. So like I'm going out for a septic inspection Friday. Normally I wouldn't go there, but now I'm going to go there because I need to get that vendor on video with the client.
Yeah. Building an asset, building a very valuable asset in your business right now. And when I say these words, tell me what comes up for you. What we're witnessing right here is what the real estate agent of the future looks like.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the full commissioned real estate agent, full value to the client. This is what it looks like. What comes up for you when I say that? What
comes up for me?
Yeah.
I want to be on that train, damn it.
Yeah.
I want to be on that train, not on the discount train. And I want that sustainability. And, you know, that whole lead, guide, and protect, it really is about protecting the client too. Yeah. It really does all of it. I mean, it feels good. It feels right. I can completely get behind it. And it's actually extending us into some new sphere of influences that we didn't have before. Mm-hmm. We had them at a distance, but we didn't have them the same way that maybe we had with our clients.
Yeah. Hey, if you like what Beth is saying, would you give her some thumbs up or give her some big happy red hearts? Because she's really showing you and willing to go out on the bleeding edge for you so she can come back and say, okay, Indians, this is what it looks like out there. and share with you, what is really happening in the field there. And I'm so grateful for that. For all of you who want to look closer at this that are not by referral only members, go over to referral-accelerator-blueprint.com. I've got a few videos that I've produced that talk a little bit about what's happening and how we set it up. You could go right to video number 3, watch the offer that we're making to you, click on it, and you can get into the October 3rd class. Right now, there's still some room. There's not a lot of room left, but if you get over there and get enrolled now, we'll get you registered for that program. And so you can have this all set up and initially started. And as Beth said, get the foundation line, get your 25 to 50 businesses in before the end of the year, and then go into next year thinking, I am going to be cultivating relationships with business advocates as one of the conversations that I'm having regularly. And Beth and you and I both know that the number of dollars that you put into your bank account is in direct relationship to the number of conversations you're having daily.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
This, I got to say, Joe, I just got to say that the way that you structured it and the way that we were able to implement it, I don't know that we would have done it at all. Like it isn't doable without that type of help and oversight and the vision that you have.
Yeah.
But it really is not hard. I mean, there's a little bit of time. I mean, it was all laid out. I mean, the scripts were there, and then do this and the support. And there were a couple times you even said to me, just leave the video. Don't stop stressing over getting it perfect and just move on. And all the big things, the big rocks that you have there and the little rocks, the things that we get in the way of ourselves, it's all there to just keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. And I just so appreciate that. Anybody who's got some resistors, just, okay, resistor, I hear you, but get out of the way.
Yeah. Yeah. We do have a deep understanding of what it takes to get adults into action. And so we've structured this 8-week experience where we take it, one segment at another, and they each build on top of the week before. And so by the time we're at the 8-week marker, you're really,
Yep.
you've got what you need in order to grow this out, and then doing our support behind the scenes for you, giving you that exquisite extended support well after the class is over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wrote this up on my board before I started. I don't know if you can see that or not. Does that come into focus for you? Yeah. So, like value, that's the separator. Like what's going to separate us and continue to allow us to be full commissioned agents. It's the value that we bring. And value comes in 3 things. First, you got to bring value that's visible. Like you can't talk about value. It's something people have to see. Mm-hmm. And so the 5-star is something physical. People see it and they can go, that's very valuable. And especially when you can put it right on your phone and turn it into an app. So a person has their phone all the time. And I've got mine right here. And all I do is I got several of them on my phone right here because this is Jim Urban. Jim is our hero. He's our lead. And so here's Jim's app is right on my phone. And so
he's a master.
He's truly, isn't he amazing?
He really is a master.
This was Jim's original 5.
I know.
He was cutting the edge when he had his little yellow book, and he said to me, this has been amazing. But now he takes the 5-star and he prints it, so he has a 5-star version. And so you have a function right on the site. You could just print your version. The great thing about that is you can go in and make any edits. Like Beth said, you can take people out, you can put people back in. And Jim didn't have that luxury here because once they were printed, they were out and gone, and you can't go out, I've got to replace your directory. Now he can be constantly, making adjustments along the way. So very visible, leading with a giving hand. And that's just one of our core principles. You start by giving. At the initial consultation, when you're sitting down with a client, start there. you guys are going to need at least 5 or 6 different product services and experiences just to get this started. And I'm going to lead, guide, and protect you in that area. And the way I do that is, here's my 5-star referral center. Let me show you. And you can even bring your printed version in and give them a printed version and show them those product services and experiences that you highly recommend have been vetted by you, so they don't have to go out and do that on their own. So it's leading with a giving hand. And then number 3 is providing a latent need. And if the word latent means is when you give people something they need that they didn't even know they needed it until you give it to them. That's when value is really extraordinary, is when you say to a person, you may not have even considered this at this moment, but moving boxes, that's something you may need. So let me take you over to your moving box guy, and you're giving them access to something they need, but they didn't even know they need it. And that's when value starts to rise. So, what the 5-star does is makes it visible. It shows that you lead with a giving hand, and you're providing latent needs for people, which just expands your value. So that's what, I love what Beth says is that, we're the easy button. We hit the easy button for people, make it a little easier for them, take the stress out of this. Moving on its own is enough stress. Finding a plumber, an electrician, and a painter, and then after they move into the house, finding someone to cut their hair, somebody to do their landscaping, somebody to do their arborist. Those are things that are not fun. And if you could lead, guide, and protect them in that area, it just raises your referral quotient too. So you want to we'll wrap up our time here and just talk about, how does this lead to growing your business? How does this lead to actually getting more business?
There's direct and indirect. Obviously, the indirect is what you just talked about, that we really have all the parts for them. There's no reason for them to go elsewhere. The ability for our agents to have all the tools, all the arrows in their quiver, it's all there. So they didn't have to build this, they contributed, but they didn't all have to do this, but they've got this amazing tool and all the other amazing tools. So it makes more confident agents, more capable agents, definitely a differential of, oh, you do that and you have that and you do this and you do that. And then they are, I would say, definitely learning, why don't we call that plumber right now together? And that, that kind of relationship thing, that helps a lot. Let's deal with that right now. And then the most recent, of course, is direct business. We have not said, hey, do you promise to introduce us? We've not done any of that. That's not what it is. We've done the implied value of we're trying to earn your trust in your business. But, we have been doing a casino night every year for now 5 years. And our company that we've used for the casino dealing and the roulette and all of that, we just put an offer in for $540,000 on a house that, it's business right there. They're on our website too, on the entertainment side. So the indirect, the direct is awesome.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, I think the indirect is more valuable. It's always nice to get a direct, and it is happening. And I think it will continue to happen more and more as we continue to spend more time on the video part for our vendors. My vision, down the road in, college versus kindergarten, where we are with a 5-star, is that all of their clients are going to their website and seeing stuff and seeing us and then coming over to our website.
Yeah, I love that. One last thing I want to show on your site, because there's a lot of people that are watching today that have teams like you do. So when we go down here and we go get to know us, do you see that, Beth? Get to know us?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
I'm going to click on the get to know you button. And then right there, we have all of their team members. You got Beth and Alan and Courtney and Jeff and Shane and Brian and Nancy and Jamie and Amanda. And what a nice recruiting tool too.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And we could click on Courtney's thing, and there's Courtney. She's got her video, and so she's, like as a, I want to say as a sticky retention tool. Yes.
Yeah.
It's something that as an owner, we all know, like when we train somebody, get them going and we get them integrated in our business, how long they stay with us is the amount of revenue that we produce as a result of all our upfront work with them.
Right.
This is one of those tools. So if you're a team leader and you've got several people on your team, you take a team version of this where we set it up where you feature all of your teams. Then we have a solo version for the individual agents too. Wow, Beth, this has been amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure.
I'm real curious on in the comments section. Would you just take a minute and just share what has been the most important learning that you've gotten from this conversation today? What's the aha? Like what's the new insight, the new way that you're thinking as a result of this 60 minutes that Beth has been willing to spend with us? You can just type that in right into the chat room, and then we can take a look at that.
I'm trying to get to the chat room. Here we go.
Yeah. It's actually, I say the chat room, but it's actually the comment section
comments
below the Facebook video there. Now we're on a little bit of a delay, so we'll see some things coming up a little bit in just a couple of minutes here. So, and then if you have any questions, this would be a great time to ask any questions. Audrey says the team section. Yeah, Audrey runs a team, and growing a team and weaving your team into the community, getting them connected to the suppliers, the vendors, all those people. NATO, who's a very active member, you're a rock star. Darlene, who's just been so valuable in helping us put all this together. You really reinforce that, like demonstrating, leading with a giving hand, bringing value to the table. Yeah, that's good. Anyone else want to make a contribution to that conversation there? You just type that right into the comments section there. I see Colleen Olson is with us.
Ah, Colleen.
Yeah, Colleen is with us. And Shane Hancock is with us. Shane, you want to get yours all set up there. And Julie is with us. Julie, this is something, Julie just came out to Tribe Builder. So Julie's going to be in the October 3rd class. I'm excited for you. Yeah, good. There's Colleen. She's sending you a little bit of love. and Jeff says, I would trust anybody that Beth would recommend us.
Oh, thanks, Jeff.
Okay, well, again, you go to Referral Accelerator Blueprint.com. Maybe Darlene, you could type that into the chat room there, and so everybody has access to that website. Beth, I want to thank you again for your contribution. Really valuable. And I'm really excited. Like, we're just getting this started,
yes.
What it's going to look like in 2 or 3 years, like
where it's going to go.
Where it's going to go. And that we were constantly innovating and creating new ways to do this.
I'll invite anybody, if they have any questions, give me a call. You know how to find me. I'm happy to talk about it and answer any questions at all about the experience. Yeah, and if you're hesitating, don't hesitate. Go.
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 Thank you, Beth. Thank you.
Bye.
Have a wonderful night. Thank you, everybody.
You too.
Thank you. Thank
Bye-bye.
you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye. That was so cool. Thank you, Beth. I'm so grateful. So you go over to referralaccelerator.com. You can watch the 3 videos that we've done, or you can go right to video number 3 and just look at what our offer is to you. It's only going to be available until Thursday. After Thursday, we're closing the door for our non-members. So members, you have access to this year round. That's all part of your membership. But the October 3rd class is going to be real special. So I'd love you to be in that class October 3rd. And then all of our non-members, on Thursday, we close this. We're making one offer out to the general real estate community as a way that come into the community. It's to get started, it's $247. That gets you signed up for the course. And then on October 3rd, we bill your credit card $247. So the total investment, it's less than $500 for you to get this set up in your business. And that includes 6 months of exquisite extended support. So the course is 8 weeks, but you get 6 months of support. At the end of 6 months, if you're not 100% satisfied with what you've done, and you've done it, like you can show that you've done it, we'll give you back all of your money, no questions asked. And if you choose to continue with us, which you're going to want to, as you can see, Beth is in this. This is a long play for her. This is the thing that's going to separate her from all the other agents. If you choose to continue to stay with us, it's $49 a month for us to continue to support you with ongoing email, ongoing marketing campaigns, and an ongoing process for you. So low risk, super high return. And one time. This is like, we're opening it till Thursday. And once we close it, we're closing it for good here. So this is just an opportunity that we're going to allow non-members into the by referral only 5-star referral center. So go for it. Take advantage of it. You deserve it. Your business deserves it. Your vendors deserve it. And it's something that you'll look back and you will have no regret. If you don't do it and you start seeing these pop up around your community, I promise you, you're going to look at it and go, ugh, that's something I regret not doing. So make a decision, go for it, do it now, hit the register button, get signed up, and let us take you from where you are to where you want to be. We start on October 3rd, 8 weeks, all set up for you for less than $500. So go for it. I'll see you in class. Thanks, everybody.